Guys, this is JC on the Daily. This is where I kind of bring you some 335 RX-8 car content and whatever the heck I honestly just feel like uploading. I'm Juan. I'm going to be your pretty much host for this thing, and let's get right into it. Alright, so today we're back in Bayo's garage. We're actually going to go ahead and start the fun stuff, which is installing our JB4 as well as our dual cone intake. I mean, everybody's kind of asleep right now, so I'm kind of doing it myself. So first things first is I'm going to go ahead and install the dual cone intake and wait for the EC to go ahead and go to sleep mode. That way I can go ahead and mess around with it. For now though, we're going to just go ahead and unbox this thing and see what the box actually comes with. The intake is probably one of the most simplest installs you could probably do to a car. It's probably one of the first things you have to do as well before you start. Ooh, sorry about those angles. Before you can start tuning your car. I mean, right now I'm just gonna put a JB4 and an intake on it, put a stage 1 on it at the time being until we get to installing the rest of the parts. But this is pretty much pretty straightforward. So on this, the first thing we have to do is detach this little hose over here. Alrighty, once we're done with that, we're gonna go ahead and just pry this thing off. It is hot right now, I'm sorry, I just drove this thing for a little bit. So for now, we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of this scoops actually, since it's a little bit hot right now. This is a T20 screw, by the way. This out of the way. Once that is done, let's not put you on the side for now. Be that way. Let me get a flathead real quick. We just needed our 6mm over here and take off this clamp. Loosen it up. Alright. This thing is hot as hell. So a little bit of change of plans just because the engine is super hot right now and I pretty much can't reach back there because I'm a little. So we're gonna go ahead and start the process in terms of getting rid of this little cowl over here so that we can expose the ECU as well, but it'll make things easier in terms of removing that little clamp that's back there. I know it's pretty hard to see. What's behind all those hoses? There's another clamp that's holding the other side of this intake, but we're just going to go ahead and get rid of these cowl real quick and we'll be right back. So the first thing we have to do for this one is take off the two covers for that, and then we're going to go ahead and push these things up. It's going to require like a little push pin, so I can't hold the camera and do those at the same time, followed by going ahead and getting rid of these 8mm right here. And then after that, we're going to be pulling this out, which is going to expose the little battery harness that's over there. I may be saying the wrong thing. Once that's done, we're just going to go ahead and get rid of the cowl, and we will be able to install our JB4. Sorry, I kept on yapping away without even noticing that the recording stopped, but we have pretty much gotten rid of the HVAC filter, so we got rid of the 4 8mm screws that are over there, as well as now starting to get rid of the little 8mm screws that's over on the side, on that side and this side. So from this point on, we're just going to be taking off the shroud and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, so at this point, because we took off the little shroud for our JB4 install, I'm sorry about that, we can go ahead and expose our other cone our other clamp that's over here, loosen that up with our 6mm, and we should be able to take it off by just pulling onto this. There's 3 little grommets that's over here. Just don't be scared.
Patient, waiting unaware, feeling like your grip might slip too soon.
And that takes out our stock air box. Okay, so now that we got our stock air boxes off, we're gonna go ahead and assemble our dual cone intakes over here. We're connecting these clamps over to these, or tightening these clamps over these little pipes that they provided us. After that, we're just gonna go, once I do this, we're just gonna go ahead and go back to the actual install, and we're actually putting it inside the car. Alright, so we are back in the engine bay over here, and we're gonna go ahead and just stick our new little intake cones over here back into those hoses that we have earlier. Try to make sure to have these little screws facing up, that way, you know, if you ever have to loosen it or tighten it back up, it's a lot more easily accessible, and you don't have to deal with the issue of, you know, taking out cowls in order to reach a little clamp. So you just pretty much stick it right up in there and tighten everything back up.
I can feel it somewhere inside, haunting like a drug I keep on wanting. There's a love that fits so perfect, it's hard.
And now that that's back in there, we can go ahead and put this. God, I just burned myself again. Put that back over there. And this is the final outcome of our JB4 intake. Alright, so that was the install of our burger tuning dual cone intake. On the next video, obviously we are going to be finishing up the JB4 install video. You guys probably already saw me start on it just because I took off the cowl and everything. But I will see you guys on the next one. So I never got the chance to close out the other video. We were able to get the intakes completely installed, but however, whenever I returned the little vacuum hose for the brake booster, I attached it back to the intake itself, but I never got to attach it. Well, I didn't notice that the thing pulled from the other side, so whenever I was driving off, I ended up having some brake issues. I was trying to figure out what the heck was going on because I knew I replaced everything properly. However, I didn't later realize that the thing came off. But yeah, just make sure all your hoses coming from the vacuum lines are actually good. That way you don't run into the same issue as I did. Other than that, take care. See you today. Hey guys, welcome to JC on the Daily, and this is where I bring you. Hey guys, this is Jaylee.